America's first competition talk show.
The hub is engaging.
Talk life.
But let me be clear. As a citizen and as president, I believe that Muslims have the right to practice their religion as everyone else in this country. And that includes the right to build a place of worship in a community center on private property in Lower Manhattan in accordance with local laws and ordinances.
Okay, Greg Gutfeld of Fox News Channel show Red Eye he's stepped in it here recently because we've all got this debate going over the mosque in New York City and whether it should be built, whether it should not be built right next to the World Trade Center towers where the terrorist attack happened on 9/11. Well, Gutfeld had a proposition to put out there that if they're going to do this, and after all, I mean, it's a First Amendment right, freedom of religion, they can do whatever they want to. We want to set up just as a public service, a gay Muslim bar. Why not? Right across the street from the World Trade Center towers. And I don't see why this is really a big deal because and they're calling him a hater now. Why is he a hater? Because he's giving them an opportunity. He's creating a neutral environment for Muslims to come together with their brethren in the gay community and confront their own fear of homosexuality, their own disdain for homosexuality. The only way he could be more tolerant is if this gay bar was serving, I don't know, matzah bread. Beyond that, you can't get much more tolerant than this. And he's giving them an opportunity, Jessica, to really just open themselves up, no pun intended, and just find the resolution to a 1,000-year, millennium-old issue in the Muslim world, and the gay community for that matter. I'm going back to eunuchs, so they've been around that long too. Nate, what do you think? Jessica's cat got her tongue.
Hey,
I think it's fair.
You think it's fair?
It's only fair.
It's only fair. Well, Sam, is it fair?
Are there gay Muslims that are willing to come out and say that they are gay in public?
Well, that's the thing. Up until this point, we wouldn't
that are still
know.
alive.
Right,
that are still alive.
They will be, and they're in America now. So
well, then I'm all for it.
Well, can they go to the gay bar and then go to the mosque afterwards and pray for their sins? Can they do that?
They could. It's right.
Yeah, it's right across the street. Or how about they leave the mosque and go to the gay bar?
Well, either way,
I'd be in that parade.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I would encourage that.
Well, I mean, if this is absurd, excuse me, the Muslim world, if this is absurd, then why is that not also absurd? A tower. I mean, ultimately, he's begging the question here.
I say they actually hold the punishment inside the gay bar. That way, they have S&M as well as Muslim.
Now we're really thinking outside of the box. Okay. Now,
our rating just changed.
Speaking of gay, the French philosopher and writer Alexis de Tocqueville once wrote several incredible books, including Democracy in America, where he came across to the U.S. and appreciated in his writings just how tolerant the U.S. was and just how forward-thinking we were, and quite frankly, how peaceful we were and how much faith played an influence in this culture, and so many different things. And honestly, I guess he was kind of out of touch with his mainstream at the time because a French guy that admired modesty. Hello? Okay. Anyway, but they're saying now that the Obama presidency here would be unrecognizable to Alexis de Tocqueville and that generation of thinkers because of things like what we're seeing now with Michelle Obama. This trip she took to Spain, this vacation she took a couple of weeks ago, $375,000 to go. I mean, I think honestly, and this is just me, I think the media has actually blown this out of proportion. If she is walking down the street with foo-foo in a handbag, in a clutch, all of a sudden, then we've got an argument. Right now, I'm looking at $375,000, and the pundits that all say, "Oh, well, it's egregious that she spent that kind of money going to Europe." They spend that kind of money every time they leave the house.
Exactly.
It takes that much to secure the life of the first lady.
And all this
well,
stuff.
I personally think that if it's her personal decision to do this and go on a vacation, she has a right to go on vacation anywhere she likes. Mm-hmm. It needs to come from her personal funds. The Secret Service goes along with her, and that's no matter where she is.
Mm-hmm.
now, how much did they pay for the Secret Service to stay in this resort? You know, that's where the gray area is as to whether this is right or wrong. Her going, that's fine.
But wait a
But-
minute. When you've got millions of Americans who are out of work, you know, you've got foreclosures who are at all-time high, and you've got the president frolicking around in Spain. What kind of message does that send to America?
Well, he didn't go. He was playing golf.
Well, it was, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
The misses.
It was just Michelle.
Well,
This is so absurd.
okay. If you look at it this way, if I own a business and I make a lot of money, and I've got my personal funds, and I go out and do that, am I hurting the other Americans? I mean, is it unfair to other tax?
Since when does the president have his own business or the first family?
He runs the country.
They work
He
for
runs-
us. They work
This-
for
right.
us.
This was
And
an
so-
author.
As long as this is their personal funds, I mean, it's very difficult to.
Well, I mean, what do you think? I mean,
The only gray area is the payment of the Social Security, the Secret Service
Yeah.
to stay in that elite of a hotel. That's where those are taxpayer funds.
That's where the cost is
paying for
different.
that, and
Yeah.
that's where the gray area
Well,
is.
and here's the thing, and I brought this up before when Barack Obama was first elected. Whether he'd been white, black, whatever, truth of the matter is, he was the first postmodern president we've ever had. Prior to him, George W. Bush. Prior to him, Bill Clinton. You've got a baby boomer president. This man is the first postmodern president,
Right.
that has ever ruled the roost in Washington. And I don't see why it's really that far out of the question for Michelle Obama. This is, by default, the first lady who is, I don't know, fit the target audience for Sex and the City and Desperate Housewives. So, you know, she's grown up on this. Do you really think she's being that ostentatious? Or is she just being culturally relevant to her generation and where we are? Because quite frankly, if all of us had access to that, I think a lot of folks under 45 today would also go to Europe and blow $400,000 and not think twice. Jessica?
I would wait till the economy gets better before I have lavish vacations.
You know,
Yeah,
and-
I mean,
and
well-
so would I. I mean, they have an example that they have to set for the rest of the American people. If they don't have it, or if the American people don't have it, they shouldn't do it either. You know, I mean, that's the example they need to set.
I agree. And the thing is that in doing this, definitely we don't have to worry about 2012.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So that's just
and that's,
You're encouraging more vacations.
not really,
More
not
vacations
really.
on
As
top
long
of
as it's
vacations.
not taxpayer money, I say they blow all their funds. That's fine. But
Well, it's amazing to see though how Democrats are working this now because they just really they still don't get it. I mean, but they see this and they think, okay, the reason we're in the tank like we are is because the tactics have failed. We've just got to rework the tactics. Our messaging is not working. And they never broach the issue of principles, of ideas. That this might be the fact that they are out of touch. You are out of touch with the American people, the principles and the ideas that we share. And they'll say everything, but we need to divide and conquer them better. We need to give them a better, we need to get pulled on their emotional heartstrings a little better. We need to do this, we need to do that. Anything and everything but look at the principles that we have that are out of state with the out of track with the American people. And honestly, I believe this about them. They can't get principles because they don't live by them. They live by tactics. Saul Alinsky put it best. This is a book, Rules for Radicals, about tactics, not principles. Because there are no such thing as principles. Because there is no such thing as morality. It's moral relativism. It's all based on what you want to do and the expediency of the political argument. So it's only about tactics.
It's how you feel.
And it's how you feel. And ultimately, this is what I'm getting at. Principles are intangibles. And it takes something more than a tactic to understand them. And the truth of the matter is we live out on the world the ideas we've rehearsed in the theater of the mind. This year, September 17th, about a month away, we are going to have an event in Georgia. And I'd say open a Pandora's box in a good way. Because for the first time, we're going to see a map. And we as a community are going to rally around some principles that call us together in unity. If you live in Georgia, I hope you'll be there. September 17th. If not, you may be able to find about it on the web. But I think it'll be coming to a hometown near you sooner rather than later. We'll see you tomorrow on The Hub.